day 1, 2, and today's in there. And this is free. We're not going to then come back and say, hey, if you want to keep this, we're going to charge you, $20 a month. It's just our gift to you for coming and joining, because we want everyone to be selling on Amazon.
Yeah. And Joe, we're officially live here now too.
Great.
So that is great. Some people may catch the replay in the Facebook group too. So yeah, we'll jump right into things for everyone. Just as Joey said, yeah, we're super excited for today and for all of you. Again, congratulations for committing the time to show up each day, and excited to do a couple of cool things today and give you guys some fun things as well too. So we're going to jump, like I said, right into it. This is day 3. We'll do a quick recap. We'll do Q&A as well too. So, more Q&A. I think Joey and I have really enjoyed that this week. It's a lot of time and effort from the team, but it's really worth it, because I can tell by the questions and some of the notes we've gotten from people that, it's making a difference. And some of you guys can kind of connect the dots from going from, hey, how do I think about this business? I want to be in, I want the opportunity to be involved in the business, or I have an existing product, but how can I do it, better and smart and be successful? And this is kind of what these sessions are designed for. So with that, let's jump right into, again, in the chat, you guys have the questions, you have the ability to ask questions there. Joey and I will get after. I know Joey, when I'm talking, Joey helps out in the chat, and vice versa. I'll keep an eye on it when Joey is chiming in as well too. So let's talk about what this is like. I feel like this was forever ago, Helium-10, but still, I basically left it up there too. If anyone still doesn't have Helium-10, there you go. But I think we're pretty in good shape there. So I want to recap a little bit around kind of what we're doing. So just to set the tone for today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, we'll recap what we did for the first couple of days very quickly. And then we're going to get into one of a topic that Joe and I like to talk a lot about, is how do you actually find great products, right? How do you actually source it? So it's great. You identify a terrific idea. Yesterday we identified a few of them. For if you were on with us live yesterday, or as Joey said, you can watch the replay. And it's great, to find those opportunities. Of course, we use some of those AI tools to analyze reviews. We've got the AI tools to analyze the marketplace. We talked about Helium-10 specifically, how to research things by keyword or by product, right? And then Joey gave some really cool things. And these are things I never knew about, because we never did this in the past, around things like Pinterest, and Pinterest, as well as
Etsy.
Etsy. That's right. I was going to say it was on Etsy. My brain was going there too. So yeah, Etsy, which again, is just a great way of thinking about something within the e-commerce space, but it's like slightly different, and really understanding kind of those upcoming trends and where things are at. So I thought, like, that link, if you weren't on here yesterday, then you can go back and check the replay too. But like, the site for Pinterest and some of the Pinterest trends is very few people know that type of stuff. So Joe, anything you want to add to just on the kind of the recap from yesterday?
Well, I can add on a little bit, since you brought up Pinterest. Is if you used to use Pinterest, like back in the day, like I did when it launched like 10 years ago, it's good for product research now, but also once you're up and running, there's some really cool marketing tactics that we teach in AMZ Insiders, and that I do with my brands, that I guarantee your competition is not doing. So yeah, pay attention to Pinterest, not as somebody pinning pins to get idea to, shop around like maybe you used to, if you've ever used it, but more as looking for trends and looking to partner with influencers, market, and also it's like a shoppable pin. So that's jumping ahead, but once you're up and running, I want to teach you all about marketing with Pinterest.
Yeah, I love that. Love that. So really, really good stuff. So we're going to jump into the source in a minute. Again, I'm going to do like a I don't know, 90-second recap of the last 2 days. We kind of just touched upon yesterday more about, but we'll fly through it for any of those that totally missed it. Maybe something will catch your eye or will refresh your memory, and we'll go back. I mean, that's why we try to keep these fairly compact but fast moving for over 3 days, so you guys can absorb some of it, catch your breath, come back, learn a little bit more, ask us questions. Hopefully you get a chance to play around with Helium 10 yourself, play around, experiment with some of these AI tools, obviously ChatGPT and the likes. Going back to day one though, if you remember, Joey actually talked about her own story going from 0 to 1 million, right? And actually at a rate beyond that very quickly, but more importantly, even how she thought about her profitability in the margins. So again, really, really important, kind of set your goals big and drive a really profitable area. So yeah, and if someone says they missed the things yesterday, I think Joey covered that too, but totally fine. We've got the membership area queuing up. We've got day 1 and day 2 already loaded to it. We have the links for you all, and we will make sure you guys have that. So no worry, John. Yep. Yeah. And also in the Facebook group, great point, Joey. Yeah. And it fits so well what Joey started the week off talking about, like thinking about reading competitors' reviews. With yesterday, we talked about some of the AI tools, right? About how you can now analyze your competitors' tools and have it summarized for you. So you don't even have to go through, 5,000 reviews and try to figure out what the opportunities are. We showed you the tools that can do that for you right now. Joey talked about, basically how to make improvement, how to make the product valuable, and then the reasons why she got a mentor, why she came aboard, right? In the interest of saving time and executing. So, yeah. And again, if it's your first day here, that's great. Like, we definitely appreciate it. It's designed so you could jump in any day. Some of you guys have been here 3 days. Some of you just made it today, but we have it all for you. So regardless, you're going to get the whole package. And again, so this is why we're doing this little recap really quickly, to refresh the memory of those that were here. And then also to give a taste to those that were not here. It's fully recorded. Within like less than an hour, you can get all this stuff, or you can even watch it faster. We had a bunch of you guys already take advantage of this. It's called the rocket ship approach. These are people that are interested in applying for us to, like for Joey, myself, to personally work with you guys to help build this businesses. A lot of the people on the call this week, we have just right around 1,000 people for this live event, which is awesome. But about a bunch of the people are in our community, are people we're working with every day, and they're motivated to show up and learn. So that's why they've joined this week as well too, even though they're already part of our basically our inner circle and our community there. There's the opportunity to apply for it. We don't have that many slots available, and we do close it down periodically, but we did open it here and we'll talk about that later. So if you know already, you got up front, like, hey, I really want to talk to you guys. I want your help. I love is doing, then you have that opportunity. But again, our focus this week is to really help you nail your product. That's what we're focused on. We haven't talked about how to rank your product much. We haven't talked about, how to really, we talked about the importance of managing inventory, but we haven't talked about, how you make sure you do that, or a lot about how do you drive reviews, all the components to make it go together. We're just focused on helping you guys with your product to begin with. All right. Helium 10, we talked a ton on Helium 10. And in our program, we go days, we bring in some of the people from the company themselves as well too. It's all in there. But again, we gave you a good walkthrough yesterday of how you can set the filters, how you can get products. Remember, we got those, the dog ladders was the one yesterday I had, I think, to walk up there, which, yeah. And Joey, you had through your things had some ideas with the, was that Etsy where you had like the little, the child, well, that was the kids Montessori toys, or someone threw that example out to you, I think. And you looked,
yeah, they said kids toys. And I mean, I have a 5-year-old. So if you say kids toys, I like to narrow it down into a niche. So instead of just thinking kids toys, I was like, well, my kid's in Montessori. So I thought, let's just look up Montessori. And we actually did find a decent product to sell. I'm not going to sell it because I sell in women's health, but if anybody's interested in that category, check it out. It was a Montessori balance beam.
It looked pretty cool. It was like reasonable cost, right? It was pretty, as long as the product quality is good. And we're going to talk about that, which fits well to what we're going to talk about in just a couple of minutes, is around stuff. from the beginning there on day one too, just in terms of finding your product ideas. Don't let it overwhelm you, like the analysis and all the tools. Keep it simple and make, do what works for you. One thing I admire a lot about Joey when we both present on the business and we talk, how we do this and how we've helped people, is I like the way Joey takes a lot of the stuff, some of the stuff she's learned through this or learned through other people. And I think she filters it and makes it her own. And then she feels very confident in what she's going to do. It's not every tool. It's not everything you're going to do out there, but she just like takes as much information as she needs and then she moves forward. Right. And so that's what I'd recommend for you all. And just in my own observation of helping like thousands of people the years, and there's the top most successful people are like that, as opposed to being like overwhelmed that you have to have everything perfect, right, in entrepreneurship before you move forward. So like, as we go through this stuff, and if you watch the trainings again, work with the stuff that resonates with you, that you think works for you, and then be confident in yourself and the value you can bring to the market with the product. A lot of you guys took photos of this right here. This was the little criteria that, we've used we've launched over 2,000 products on Amazon. And this is, again, a little bit of kind of the guiding principles that we do. And going back to what Joey, the example she did, which was she took this to another level, right? So like, hey, I'm not going to sell a product at $26. I'm going to sell a product, at over $100 and $200, right? So these are kind of the guiding principles, or the minimum standards, but look to go above that and, understand that this part right here, we're going to talk about, which is the quality of the product. Number 6 and 7 is, the quality of the product is really important. And, the first couple of days, we've kind of talked about how to find the great products, whether kind of using certain tools or whether using some of the AI tools or the software. Now, what we want to do is make sure you guys can find a really good product, a really good quality product. And this was cool too. If you guys, again, a lot of you, some of you guys are new today, whatever else. This is one of my favorite slides, this is the survey that was done directly to the aggregators, and it inquired with them about which categories they're most interested in buying. Meaning, if they're going to buy your brand from you, where are they looking for? And home and garden was the number one category they're looking at, followed by pet supplies, baby products, health and personal care, outdoors, and so forth. And remember, the point is that you can find, if you have a really cool product that's in musical instruments, this is an aggregate, right? This is in total. This is high level, so it doesn't matter. But if you're just getting started, understand that these are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'd probably 6, 7, down to beauty. I'd probably say these 8 are, the big ones. All right.
And just to put it in perspective, I sell and have sold in the top 2 categories. And Jamie, you've almost sold in all of those top 5 ones, right? Maybe not baby.
I'd say, yeah, mostly. I've not sold really in baby too much, but yes, just because of the course over time though, although for the first 6 years of Amazon, I only sold in one category. All right. So that's how laser focused we stood. Now we stayed in that one category. We were past 50 million in sales till we looked at something else. But that's the power of Amazon, of course, is the smallest little niche in any of these categories, you can really build a big business, right? We like to say you're one product away, right? That's the point of this challenge. You're one product away from a 7-figure business, right? Or certainly very, very close to it. So the Etsy, also both the Etsy and the Pinterest, because again, this is all in the replays where Joey walks through this in more detail. Again, the AI stuff we went deep into yesterday. I'm doing a super fast recap here. And then we're going to go into some of the new content here in about 2 minutes. But in the recap is the importance of AI, which is it's a game changer. It's literally the opportunity to go, we call it is a last to first to last opportunity, meaning that you have the opportunity to leapfrog a lot of the experienced people in the industry. And it doesn't just apply to this Amazon business. Frankly, you could do this with anything. If you have a full-time day job, I would recommend that you're leveraging this for as much as possible. And really on it. There's the last, the first, first, the last. And we went through, I gave you guys actually some really cool prompts yesterday. Here's a bunch of prompts you can literally copy and paste into ChatGPT, or just add on to it, tweak it up a little bit, make it your own. Don't be afraid to challenge ChatGPT. Like I kind of joke, like I can talk to ChatGPT in ways that we would never talk to our own team, right? Like we can be like a little bit rude. Like we may say, hey, that's not good enough. You need to make that 5 times better. Like, have some fun with it, and you'll be amazed. You can be, some people say be extra nice to it. Like they thank it because they believe when AI becomes so powerful and it's running all of our lives, that it will remember that you were nice to it. And it's going to remember that Jamie was rude to it, telling it that I was going to fire it if it didn't get this answer better. But yeah, just bring your own creativity to it. But more importantly, stay focused on the results that you want to get. And when in doubt, just ask ChatGPT. Like if you don't know what to ask it, like let's say to pick your Amazon product, ask it what to ask it about what you want to get done. And then it will give you a bunch of ideas. You can start drilling into those things. So it's crazy how quickly and how powerful you can do it. So again, combine that with, the AI stuff is a tool. It's really powerful, but it's not the end all. Understand, we want to use it in combination with Helium 10, right? Within a tool already in existence. And, everything from listing optimizations to customer support. Obviously, we're focused on having you guys have awesome, wonderful products to sell in the marketplace, but there's so many different things you can do with it. The imagery is incredible with Midjourney. Your product ideas, literally go in there, ask it to, whatever product you want to do, say, create the most beautiful version of this, or create a unique design of XYZ product. And it's great. And we went through a few different tools, like this AI PRM is mind blowing. I did the example, write a complete book in one click, but it basically overlays, this is a Chrome extension, overlays on ChatGPT, and it makes everything so easy because these are like crowdsourced. So you can see there's like 354,000 comments, right? And there's like, you can see the thumbs up is 3,000 people. So that the best prompts, you just do it. And then on the bottom, it gives you a little template. You don't even have to prompt it. It does it for you. And you can do all sorts of amazing things for yourself. I won't go through these stuff blow by blow. A lot of you guys, I received some notes too, were really blown away by this Schulix tool. Obviously, none of these tools are ours. Schulix, and some of them are free, some of them have a fee, but the Schulix tool does a ton of really powerful things. And it's really designed for Amazon to help you optimize your Amazon listing. And this is the tool that allowed it. You could grab a listing, let's say it has 10,000 reviews, and you can ask it basically kind of in a ChatGPT little prompt, ask it to analyze all of the opportunities to make this product better, to summarize what people don't like about it. You can ask it maybe summarize what people do like about it, and just goes through and you get real customer data on every listing. So it does a lot more too, but it was pretty mind-blowing AI stuff. You're really starting to see it align closely with Amazon, the Amazon process and Amazon accounts directly. All right. So that's all in your membership area. And again, that was a super fast recap in about a few minutes, but hopefully, again, the feedback we've had from people has been amazing this week. Joey, anything else you want to add before we jump into some of our sourcing secrets here?
Let's just quick question. Artem is asking, is the extension paid for or free? And that was the
Schulix one or something else.
One. I saw the pro version, but did you pay or do you have it for free?
And that was specifically is that around this tool you're talking about or something else?
This one.
This tool just has like a free trial. So you can do a free trial for like a day or something.
Oh, you said the one before, the ChatGPT overlay. Sorry, I was confused.
Oh yeah. So yes. So that was this one here, the AI PRM, if that's what you're referring to. This is the overlay. If this one is really important for, this is free. So to answer the question, it's free. And that is, I think I don't even know if there's a paid version. I have to keep track, because most of the tools, they have like a free version, and then they may have like ChatGPT itself. To have the 4.0 cost $20. I think it's worth it if you're someone who's like really engaged in entrepreneurship. then, I want that priority access. So the $20 is worth it in my opinion, but yeah, try to use the free version. Again, that's why we're not recommending, or we don't encourage you guys. Obviously the Helium 10 tool is the one we think is, you should all have for Amazon. And sometimes you may see a tool, if there's a paid, maybe you can find a different version that's a free version, like another tool that does the same thing. So yeah, it's good questions. And again, we'll answer a bunch of questions here for you guys too, and happy to go back into some of this stuff. We're here for you all today. We want to make sure we provide, enough value so that regardless of whether you continue to want to be part of our community and work with us or you don't, that you have enough information and insight from what we've covered in these last couple of days that, you can take serious action and make some real steps forward. So the last piece we want to talk today.
Did you
again,
answer? Sorry,
go
Jamie.
ahead.
Just we keep getting like, what is the design tool? Was it Midjourney, or what's the one that you're using for art?
Yeah, that's Midjourney.
Midjourney.
That
okay.
was,
that's what I thought.
Yeah. So, and I know we covered it super quick. We didn't go in depth. What I would say when you use Midjourney, some of these tools, they can be like a little bit, they're not super intuitive or user friendly. So the first time I used Midjourney, which was like, I guess 4 months ago or so, maybe 5 months ago, it was like a little bit clumsy because it was like, oh, how do I get it to give me what I want? But now there's tools like that thing we just went through, that AI PRM or ChatGPT. Use those tools and say, hey, give me a prompt I can put into Midjourney and give me an image that does X, Y, and Z. And I want it to be this dimension and I'm using it for this purpose. And it will write the prompt for you and just throw it in Midjourney. Or the AI PRM, they just have tools in there that say it just creates Midjourney prompts for you and you just makes it really, really easy. So yeah, that's one of my takes. When you are using some of the AI tools, you know how it is, like you'll go to a presentation, you'll be like, wow, this is earth shattering. It's changing, this is so awesome. And then you go to use it and you're like, you can get discouraged sometimes right away if it's like complex or you're like, oh, I thought this was going to be easy to use. And so don't feel like I understand that. I felt the same way sometimes, but as you understand, these other tools can make it really, really easy. So yeah, because it's like, oh, it's too good to be true. And then it's like, oh, it's because it's hard, right? But well, no, these things aren't actually hard. They're very usable and the tools make it easy to overcome it. So just a little tip before we do that. All right, cool.
Okay,
Joey, anything else?
No, you can move on now. Thanks.
All right. Awesome. Well, Joey, let's do sourcing and we can do this. Again, we move fast. So we're going to go through this around things. So sourcing is so important, right? Because at this point, really, you have an idea, right? You have a really good idea. Say you identified, let's say the Montessori, the little balance beam kit for kids, right? So you're like, wow, this is awesome. This is like a great opportunity. We want to sell this. So now the critical part is you actually have to get a really good version of that product, right? So a couple things in terms of sourcing, and we'll go up and we'll pull up the site that we like to use live for you all too, is, a few things. I want to go through arm you guys with some questions. Again, you can take a photo of certain things too. So you want to make sure that you're understanding, who you're working with when you're sourcing. So are you working directly with a factory or are you working with a middleman? And some people have a negative connotation of a middleman, which is really called a sourcing agent. The reality is a sourcing agent can be really helpful at times, but we like to ideally, have that relationship with the manufacturer. So even if you start with a sourcing agent, and we have good friends of ours that, do this for people worldwide and help people in this way, and they're really effective. But our belief is we want you to own that relationship with the factory directly so that you can, and we'll talk about why you want to. And the good thing is it's easy. It's not hard. So I'm going to go a couple. So I'll tell you, let's just jump right. I'm going to make this a little different. I'm going to jump right into Alibaba here. So 1 second here. Let me just pull up. We'll do this live here. And Just gonna me. Them on. Oh. It's funny. It's having me slide to verify. Login success. Okay. All right. There we go. Third time's a charm, I believe. All right. Awesome.
Good job.
So let me get back here. All right, Joe, you can see my screen now.
Yep. Probably is just slow because we're on Zoom, but yeah, it looks good.
Okay, cool. So everyone, if you don't know, this Alibaba is the main site we use to source products initially, at least. Once you have some inroads with some manufacturers, a lot of times our second product, third product, fourth product, we just directly communicate with them and we'll get input from them. But I want to show you a couple of important steps. One, Alibaba is a great tool for a lot of reasons to source products, but it's also a great tool to actually find potential new ideas. Similar to what Joey talked about in terms of sourcing or looking up like trends on Pinterest and getting ideas from Etsy, is that you can come on here and understand, what are some of the top ranking products that people are sourcing, because Alibaba. So what Alibaba is, it's the world's largest search engine for business to business, right? So you're a business looking to buy from a manufacturer, right? Amazon is the world's largest search engine from business, you being the business, to the consumer. All right. So understand that Alibaba is not just for Amazon. Certainly it's for all retail, right? So for stores, for all countries, it's truly a global marketplace and it is incredibly powerful. And just like Amazon, they have a lot of data that they're providing that you can use as a potential seller. So, to that point, you can check out some of the new arrivals, get ideas, and go down through kind of the rabbit hole of the things we showed yesterday about how to analyze these things with the Helium 10 tool or with some of the ChatGPT things to go look and see what the opportunities and viability of some of these things. So I always like angles that are a little bit different, right? Because most Amazon sellers are going to be looking at Amazon. They're going to use a tool, right? They're going to use a software tool to see pulling, again, that's looking at Amazon. So things that Joey talked about that kind of take you off of Amazon here on Alibaba, all those things are kind of different, unique ways that can help you get some different ideas. So that's point number one, is use this for ideas and to at least, add it potentially your list and say, hey, let's take a look at this, and then go over and look to validate the potential for the product. Once you have your product, right? So let's say Joey, what was the name of the balancing beam? What was kind of the key word you would describe it for?
So I would put in Montessori. Let's watch it, see if you can spell it. Yeah, SSORI. And you could just do Montessori toys, really, or Montessori educational toys, one of those. Or you can put in.
Actually, sorry, let me get like the specific. That was the.
Oh, you want to find the product?
Yes.
Yeah, balance beam. Well,
you want the Montessori in there still?
It's probably, either Montessori, or you could click on the wooden one. See, yeah, you got to try them all. See how balance beam wooden came up. See what that is. And it might have been the one for toddlers. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So whatever your main keyword of the product is, we could have grabbed it quickly and off and go. Now you see right away, like, okay, wait a minute, this is different. Is this what we were looking for? Yeah. You may say like, ooh, the one I was looking at, I was excited about, but it doesn't look like that. So it looks, do they actually have?
Yeah, it's like those, and they look pretty new, like the ones you're on.
Here?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Yep.
Yes.
Cool. So here's the thing and we'll just go with this example. And sometimes it's like, if you put a massage gun, right? We'll come back to this in a second, but let me just go massage gun. You go in here and there's going to be no doubt, right? It's just going to be massage gun. There can be tons of them. and it will go on forever. These are all different manufacturers of the massage gun, right? So on and on and on. But in this case, it is, you know, in this case, the key word may be critical, because it's like, hey, how do you actually describe this product? And is it the one that you want? Okay.
Right.
So you may have to be a little more specific and play around. You may have to dig a little bit deeper if the keyword description is different. But that being the case, so the beautiful thing here is you can do things like, hey, I only want people with trade assurance. I want a verified supplier. If you want to put the less than hour return time, it's fine. But, you know, basically these two are great. They used to have all these certifications and all these things to, again, check. You can just simply the product certification. Alibaba makes it as easy as possible for you to get to legitimate suppliers, because they're all battling to get here on page one, just like we do when we sell on Amazon. So with that being the case, now we've set those filters, and now we have some good manufacturing reach out. So there's two ways to do this. Go through and identify, let's say 5 to 10 suppliers that you want to reach out to. Just simply click into them, right? And you can go through, don't be afraid to go to page 2, 3, 4 too, because they may, so like this looks pretty cool, right? And contact supplier. They give you all this data. You can read about it, and then simply contact supplier right here. For contact supplier, just say, hey, you know, I'm an e-commerce seller. Sometimes we use like, there's the boss method. It doesn't really matter either way, but you just don't say like, hey, I'm brand new. I'm just like never sold before. Like, you want to present yourself as a serious, you know, professional in the space, and that you're, you know, legitimately interested in this. And so you just put your description there, and then you can put the quantity you want. So some of them have a minimum order quantity. So the MOQ, or pretty much every product's going to have an MOQ. Sometimes it will differ by manufacturer. Sometimes they'll say, hey, we can make you 100 pieces. Sometimes they may say, you know, our minimum order is 500. All right. But you simply message them and off you go. So now you notice the prices, of course, the price goes down the more you order. So they're telling you up front, $36 for this, $35 for this amount, $32 at greater than 500 pieces. So as you grow your business, that's how, you know, you drive profitability, because this price right here is what, like 10% less. So that's a 10% to your bottom line when you're ordering 500 pieces, right? So that can really add up. Now, the first time you're ordering stuff, you may be like, well, I can only order 300 pieces, you know, so it's $34 a piece. All right. Now, that being said, don't trust any of the prices listed here on this website, because the real pricing happens when they give you a quote. So, you know, this is a bit, not saying I don't know anything about this, actually, their actual prices, but, you know, this is a bit marketing. So typically they're not going to give you a lot of quotes on prices, because, you know, they don't want to, but, or they may, again, they want you to reply to them or inquire about them so they can do business with you. So that's the one way, is you just go through different suppliers, contact them, be professional, and get quotes, and be responsive. When they respond to you, respond back to them, right? So I have all these messages in here. And so that's the one way. And then let me show you the second way, which is my favorite thing. They added this a couple of years ago now, which is the RFQ, which is request for quotation button here. They don't put it right up top because they want you to go through the manufacturers. But this RFQ button is awesome, because instead of going one-to-one, you know, yourself finding each supplier, although it froze up there a little bit. Let's try that again. Interesting. Let me see. And let me go into, also, let me see if I go into one, see if it has it here somewhere. Just going to find. Sometimes they put these buttons in different spots too. So let me see if they, oh, essentially they put the related searches here too. So they put all the keywords down here for this, this product. Interesting as well too. Not exactly, oh wait, one request, multiple quotations. This is the same thing.
There you go.
There we go. See, I outsmarted. I found the thing. So what is RFQ? Request for quotation, right? Just tell us what you're looking for. I like to upload a picture. So if I have a competitor's product, then they will, I'll upload the photo, and you're basically blasting out to many manufacturers. So Alibaba essentially is going to push this out, and all of the manufacturers can then bid on your business, right? They'll all reply back to you. So you can see average response time is less than a day, 162,000 active suppliers, right? Industry covers. I mean, so super powerful. So it is a great way to do this. Just put in what you're looking for, post a request, and you're going to get a bunch there. So I like to do both. Go find some manufacturers that look interesting to you. They look like they have the product that you're looking for. So do that directly one-to-one, and then also post this. One of my favorite things to do here, also one of kind of my hacks on negotiating price, is even once I'm working with a manufacturer, periodically I'll go in here and I'll repost this to the RFQ, and I'll let people bid on my product again. And I've had examples where my existing manufacturer bid and sent me a price, sent my team a price, not realizing that it was us. We were this company, we were already one of their customers, and it was the price one time was like, I don't know, 15% cheaper than what we were currently paying. And the price we were currently paying was like a price we'd negotiated down over like 2 or 3 years. So it was like, wow, we really felt like we were at the great price. And all of a sudden with this, they offered a lower price. And so of course she said, hey, wait a minute, this isn't, you can't. So we negotiated with them again, and they gave us the lower price. The other thing you do is, if you're working with an existing manufacturer, again, put this out here, you may get a lower price, and then work with 2 manufacturers. So that way, maybe give 70% of the order to your existing manufacturer, and then like 30% kind of test out a new manufacturer, see if they can, if they're cheaper, see if they can get the same quality and actually are reliable, and whether you like working with them. You don't want to burn that bridge of your existing supplier. But that's, again, a little bit further down the line as you start doing this. But this is how you start driving your margins higher and higher, because every dollar you save with this stuff is an extra dollar or extra dollar in your pocket in terms of profitability. All right, Joey, anything you want to add through kind of the Alibaba topic here?
Yeah, I think on the RFQ, where you're just really putting it out there, you might get a lot of responses back. So you have to be ready to manage the responses. And most of the time it's late at night or early in the morning. So just be ready for that, to have the conversations. And it's not every single night, but when you're trying to source or talking to your supplier, just know that you need to be there and you want to respond when they're available. So if you're not going to be able to manage all the messages that you get, then just do the first part that Jamie went over, where it's just really one by one. And then Janita, you had a good question too about hiring somebody off of Fiverr for product sourcing. I would do this yourself. I would source yourself, unless you already have a VA, a virtual assistant that you trust, because once you make that relationship with sourcing through Alibaba, and ideally you're going to be asking for some type of modification. You're not just going to be buying exactly what they have on Alibaba. You need that relationship with the supplier. And it really starts at the beginning. And they want to look at your Alibaba profile. So fill out your Alibaba profile as much as you can, so these suppliers will learn about you, because especially if it's your first time on Alibaba.com, they're not going to know who you are. So I do think it's important to do this yourself, and I recommend doing everything yourself so that you know how to do it before you outsource anything. That's just my recommendation. I support however you guys want to run your business, though. Jamie's on mute.
Yeah, I always say with these businesses, you want to do in entrepreneurship, it's really important. Say you want to know enough to be dangerous in every aspect of the business. So that, meaning that you want to have experience in every aspect. So even if you want to hand it off and have someone else do it the next time, that's fine. But you want to have the ability to effectively manage it, because you're like, hey, I've done this before, right? In most cases, if you haven't done it at all, then again, I found typically it's hard to keep an eye. And I totally agree. Sourcing, like I want to have my hands on it and have that relationship as well.
Yeah. And as you're switching, Carol had a really good question. She asked, is it all in China, and is there a US version? So on Alibaba, majority is in China or maybe Southeast Asia. If you want to source in the US, I like to start with Google first and put in like Montessori toy manufacturer in the US, right? Just put it into Google. And then when I was showing you on Etsy yesterday, that's another place that I like to go to source things. Even if you already have an idea, they're typically not in China on Etsy. I told you my supplier from Etsy is in the Ukraine, and I've had really good experience communicating and buying from them.
Yeah, I see some questions in there, which I think we're going to cover here in the topic here, and if not, we can continue to answer. And yeah, just to add to that too, the Alibaba is designed for the world, so you'll see there are countries for everywhere, including the U.S. on there, because the reality though is because the supply chain, the manufacturing capability of China is so dominant that 90% of things are going to still happen in China. I think all of us prefer, especially, based here in the US and selling on Amazon.com, the more that we could source, not only from the US, but through North America, the better. So, Mexico is really growing in terms of manufacturing, but the reality is, let's take like the iPhone. There is like several million people that just work on the iPhone there. Right. And so when they say, hey, why don't they make, why does Apple manufacture the iPhone in China? Why don't they bring it to the US and have manufacture it in Texas? Right. The problem is they can't, because some of the supplies, like the screw that's needed for this one, a lot of places doesn't exist other than in China. And so that's why so many things. So yeah, Alibaba is worldwide. To Joy's point, again, you can Google search and do things off there. And there are some other tools as well too, but it's just, again, it's the largest marketplace. Certainly there's also like, so Southeast Asia, so Thailand, Vietnam have a lot of manufacturing. When the tariffs were in place, like especially kind of the Trump years, they kind of had those tariff battles in place, and there still are some tariffs in place, that a lot of people shifted some of the capability to Vietnam or to Thailand to get around those tariffs. And so you can do that as well. So, all right. So let's just talk about a little bit on so this photo right here I had, this is actually over in Guangzhou. It's the Canton Fair, which is the world's largest, basically trade show in the world. Since COVID, things have changed a lot. So like I used to go to China 3 times a year. I haven't been there since COVID, right? Even China just recently in the past, several months was kind of coming up with some of the restrictions in terms of coming into the country. So the good news is you don't need to go to China, and you don't need to go anywhere. You can do this all from your home. Over time, eventually, maybe in the years coming, it's always great to your business, wherever your business is, manufacturer. Of course, it's wonderful if you can ever go visit people and meet them in person. But the idea here is, some of the questions you want to ask, and this is whether you're going to the Canton Fair or just when you're interacting via either the Alibaba tool there or via one of the chat apps, these are good questions. Are you a trading company or a factory? Right?
Wait,
where's your factory
Jamie, are you
located?
showing something?
Oh, is my screen not sharing?
It's just showing my slide on my margins. I mean, it's an amazing slide, but it's not the Canton Fair slide I think you're trying to show.
Oh, maybe I picked the wrong one. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. He has like a million screens in front of him, so.
Are you seeing the Canton Fair?
Yes, now we got it. The questions for the suppliers. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, this was just, I won't recap everything I said, but these are the buildings of the Canton Fair. Of course, the cities in China are insane. They're like, Guangzhou has like 30 million people, I think, in it, right? Like New York City, I don't know, is less than, definitely less than 10 million. So these cities are like triple the size of the biggest cities. And there's a lot of them over there. This is just Guangzhou. And this is the picture of the Canton Fair that I was talking to. But yeah, so the questions, this is a good one to take a photo of, capture that. Again, I won't recap all the same questions, but essentially what you're getting at, you just want to understand who you're dealing with. Like, are you dealing directly with the manufacturer, or are you dealing with a middle person? All right. And again, it's fine if a middle person, the advantage of a middle person, a sourcing agent, is they can go to lots of people on your behalf. Right. But again, we prefer to have that relationship directly with the manufacturer. And if you're going to use a sourcing agent, you want to know that that's what you're doing, because typically they're going to have like a little 5% or 10% fee for themselves. So you want to know that, because you're going to be paying a little bit more for that service. Basically ask questions about, how many units can they produce? Which countries do you currently supply? Like, we'd like to know that they supply the US, that they don't just supply third world countries. They'll give you a lot of information. What brand? Sometimes they'll tell you, like, they'll mention the brand and you'll go, oh, wow, that's like the #1 selling product on Amazon. So they supply them. Oh, that's cool. That's probably a good supplier. And then we do like to ask, hey, do you sell on Amazon yourselves? Because some manufacturers do that. And we don't want our manufacturer competing against us, because they have an advantage on price, but they usually suck at selling on Amazon because they don't know how to create listings well. Typically, sometimes they do partnerships with people in the US, and then, that can be harder to deal with, because if they're actually know what they're doing. And here's some more questions as well too. And, essentially, if it comes down to it, says, can you email me a full specification quotation sheet of the items that we discussed? And again, it doesn't matter if you're at the fair or just online. I'm going to tell you the app I recommend that you guys use is, let me pull up, is, there we go. So right here, it's called, you can't see it because it'd be too small, but it's called WeChat. So WeChat is the app they use all in China. Matter of fact, my head of accounting, Tina here, she communicates with me typically on WeChat because she's Chinese and that's what they use to communicate. The entire economy works off of WeChat. So I like to go Alibaba initially, and then if you say, hey, do you have WeChat? Of course they'll say yes. There's a little bit of a step to get set up. You need someone to help, to invite you or verify it. It's very similar to WhatsApp, but again, it's what is the dominant for all the manufacturers use it. So I like to use it for all the communication ongoing back and forth, except for any kind of quotations, then email, or any proposals, any of that's invoices, then of course have them email that to you. That being said, I know, probably Joey, you probably did most of your communication within Alibaba back and forth, at least initially, I think, if I remember.
I mean, I pretty much did it all in there. Maybe a little bit on WhatsApp, but anything that had to do with like transactions or order changes, I like to keep it all in Alibaba.
Yeah.
I like the protection that Alibaba offers, so that's why I do that. But yeah, it's up to you. Again, it's your business, but I just played it really safe.
Yeah, and I also say it depends where the relationship is too, because once you've got an ongoing relationship, so to Joey's point, like the trade assurance, it basically puts the money into escrow until you say you're satisfied, then it releases it to the manufacturer. That's like a good, safe way, really good protection. Understand the manufacturers are in it for a long-term relationship. They're not trying to steal someone's $5,000 order, right? They're looking to do business so that you grow to hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars worth of inventory you order from them. But then once you have that relationship going on and on and on, and you're ordering, like for us, we just want to be able to say, hey, I need X amount of units, and, kind of have that relationship. That's kind of the last piece we'll talk about is you want to, and I won't go blow by blow through all this stuff, but you really want to do this one, build relationship. We have it right here, build relationship via WeChat. And that could be like, hey, Happy New Year, there's Chinese New Year, Happy Chinese New Year, or, whatever it may be. They may reach out to you. And if you're in the US, say Happy 4th of July, and you'll kind of, oh, you guys know it's 4th of July. So just, be human, develop that kind of good working relationship. And the better you do that, the more they'll kind of prioritize you, maybe bump you to the front of the order when you need product. They'll give you new ideas for products. Sometimes they'll just ship you ideas for products because they know if you like it, you'll start selling it. So they'll start shipping it to you for free. Because your sample, when you get this item through Alibaba, we didn't talk about this before, is you're going to get a sample and they're going to ship it to you. And the sample, you got to pay for the shipping initially. Again, as you get more, as you become a client with them more, often they won't even charge you. They'll just send it to you. This is my point all about relationships, right? Relationships, different products, they'll offer you better credit terms over time. All right. So these are all things that you want to take advantage of. To things like faster lead times. And they can give you unique insight around customers. Like I like to ask like, hey, what else is really popular that people are buying from you now, right? What else is cool and new? So just like the last few days about these ideas, this is a great way to get really good insight around what is, what's up and coming, what trend, like they're seeing at first, because they're seeing orders come in. And sometimes they're saying like, hey, these aren't even really popular in the US right now, but they're like really popular in the UK and Germany. You're like, oh, wow. Like, so these aren't even hit the US yet. So yeah, I can be like one of the first ones to start selling it. So that's the keys on the product side of it in terms of sourcing the product. Again, really important that you get a good product, leverage that what I call that one to many, right? Where you put out the bid, the request for a proposal, and have a lot of people bid to you. As Joey said, make sure you're responsive, because it's like, when you ride Uber, you know how you rate the Uber driver? Well, the Uber drivers get to rate you as a passenger as well too. So keep that in mind. It's fair game that, they're getting rated on how fast their response time is. You want to show that you're a serious person and that you're not just wasting people's time. Doesn't mean you're going to do business with them all, but just be respectful and again, engage with them and reply. And it's fun. It's exciting. You're engaging, like you're in like global business here, right? From wherever you are on the planet, right? You can easily connect and then leverage those questions that, we shared around, some of these things here, so that you can make sure that, it's you're getting the right information. And also they respect it because they know, oh, this person has some experience. They're asking like these questions. That's good. And make them their own, right? So don't have to ask every question, but make them your own. So we'll take any questions on sourcing and any of the other stuff as well too. But that is the piece on there. We've got some cool things we want to show you guys still, but that is, Brian says, I send them a gift. You won't believe how far that goes. Love that. Great, Brian. That's super important. Yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah, they're like, and obviously we're talking, as you said before, a lot of times it's China. Your supplier may be somewhere else, maybe in the US, maybe in Mexico, maybe in India. But it's just what Brian says, like the human element is so important because you're running these businesses. It's great. You can sell globally, but there is like, you're not face to face. So yeah, try to go overboard and make them feel special. So I absolutely love the gift when they're too. Sometimes you send pictures of your family, it's just like, the holidays, celebrating, just show appreciation for each other. And likewise, they'll do the same thing. They want to feel like that you're both, there's a mutually respectable relationship besides just the transaction of the money. So, all right. So we'll recap a little bit. And some good questions. Says, how does Helium 10 compare to Profit Hunter? It's interesting. Like, so John, we don't know, like we don't use every tool. So I haven't used Profit Hunter. So I'm not exactly sure. Again, there's hundreds of companies that do reach out to us to ask us to they want us to use their tool and to promote their tool. But so I can't speak to any. I can speak to a handful of tools, but that's not one of them we can speak to. We know Helium 10 is the industry leader. They are the biggest company in the space, but not to say other tools are can be effective as well too. And some people have like 10 tools and they use 10 different tools. We just don't say that because a lot of the people we work with, we're helping you guys grow your businesses. Kind of every dollar matters. And so we don't want you to have a lot of redundancy. And if something is, one tool is, Helium 10 has has like 40 tools in it. And so if one tool is 90% as good as someone else's tool and it's all included, then we think it gets you the solution to move forward. But by all means, if there's better tools that you guys like out there, there's certain tools that are like really good at one specific thing, and it might be worth it to get those tools as well too. It's like the AI tool, the one we showed yesterday, that may be worth it, just to have it so you can automate that one piece, but you kind of have to assess, everything else it does. All right. So yeah, let's chat a little bit more. So we've gone through day one. We've gone through, basically how to find the product, showed you guys some really cool, unique ways to dig in deeper yesterday tactically with both AI and with some of the other sites. besides just Amazon itself. And then, and went, really deep. I didn't say really deep, but we showed you the power of like ChatGPT and things you can do in terms of your Amazon business. And this is all brand new, right? In 2022, no one was using this. These slides here are just some of the part of our partners that all present part of our community. We showed this on day one, I believe. Again, we have the biggest rock stars in the industry are part of our AMZ Insiders community, come present, and they're actually all housed as part of our thing, because as good as Joey and I are, and I think we're a pretty strong team along with our expert coaches, is that there is, we believe that, together we're stronger. And so that's why some groups out there, they just kind of keep a closed group. And it's like, they kind of tout themselves as the guru, or there's kind of 1 or 2 person gurus out there, which I would be wary of. But for us, it's about, we have a lot of self-confidence in ourselves and about what we know and our experience and the results that we've gotten from the people we've helped and the results we've gotten ourselves, that we welcome the top experts that we know. And they're also, we have got good relationships with all these people as well too. So, and we're constantly adding more people, we'll be at a conference. Like I said, Joey and I are part of a $30,000 a year mastermind that we go to just to learn, and we'll meet somebody and they may have a tip about Amazon, and that $30,000 a year, is around all sorts of different things, the entrepreneurship. But if we learn one thing, we're going to bring it back to our community to help you guys. And we help these, we provide value. The way this stuff works, I recommend, is try to give value before you take value, right? So before you take from it. So, Joey and I met with Sean a couple of weeks ago, and if there's something we can help him with, we're going to help him with, and then vice versa. We help each other out. So we all win. All right. So here is, I'm going to fly through this because this is the recap of the stuff we did. But for those that are interested, I want to take, we want to do Q&A. So we're going to do this. I love some of the questions in here, but, and comments. So we'll continue to do these, and yeah, so Jenna said, all these people work with us as students. Yeah. So these people all come and present. So Joey and I lead our mastermind and our coaching program. What's unique about it is the one-on-one component, but it's a community. And so, yeah, weekly we bring in different members in the community, and often may refer you to these people too, if something makes sense. Like, hey, they're really good at, someone's really good at trademarks. Day one, a lot of you guys are asking trademarks. We'll send it there. So yeah, they're part of our community, and they come and present. And again, we're always looking for the top presenters in the globe, the most interesting topics, and we'll come to, like, I do a lot of the AI stuff, but there's some other people that are doing some AI stuff. And so we'll bring them in. Joey and I will coordinate around this. So we've hoped you got a lot of value out of here. One of the things we want to kind of make sure we get to you, we have a few bonuses for you guys. Is one, again, congratulations for dedicating the time here to come to the product challenge, spend some time with us, whether today's your first day or whether you've been with us all 3 days. Again, it doesn't matter. You're going to get the recording, or maybe you're watching this on the recording or in the Facebook group. But, one of my key principles of success is never being afraid to ask for help. So I'm kind of shameless that if I don't know something, I just want to get to the answer, and I want to find the quickest way to do it. And I like to work with people that have that common theme, right? Joey, if you guys were here on page 1, same thing. She asked if, the reason why she found a mentor, right, Joey, is it fair to say is because you wanted to save time?
Definitely. Yes. And my Amazon business was not the first time I'd ever started a business on my own. I started a business in 2014 selling custom wallpaper to commercial design. And it took me 3 full years before my custom design business was profitable. So that was why when I decided I was going to sell on Amazon, I got a mentor, and I joined AMZ Insiders in early 2021 when I was going to launch my Amazon business, because I didn't want to waste any time. I didn't want another 3 years of mistakes until I was making money. So that's really why I grew from 0 to $1 million in 12 months, because I followed the methods. I showed up at every weekly training and put a lot of work into it, because I already had My wallpaper business, by the way, I still run it and it's doing great, but those first 3 years were rough. And that's true with any business, whether it's an Amazon business or anything you're trying for the first time.
Yeah. And it's just about, you want to shorten the learning curve. The beautiful thing about right now in 2023 is the ability to, it's not that you want to be on tons of trainings. You want to do things as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible. Right. So you want to tighten the time frame to when you can be successful and get the result. Right. And so that's what we're solely focused on. And that's why we have the one-on-one aspect to it as well, too. I always like this Thomas Edison quote, not failed, just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Well, you don't want to have to experiment and try to figure out all those ways that won't work. You want to let someone else do that for you. And then there. So again, together we can go faster and farther. All right. So working together with people, and it's fun, right? You get around people, people that you like and people that you trust. That's what I found is the key to doing business. If we do that, and you enjoy this, you'll be successful and make money. So I always say that, you have a few opportunities. You can keep doing what you're doing. You can take information like we've shared for these last few days, and you can do it. You can go at it by yourself, right? You can go at it. But, if you think through, some of the potential, or maybe some of the products we pulled up yesterday, I know it happens to me. I get excited when I see, ooh, this is a good opportunity. And we weren't even trying that hard yesterday. We weren't even like, we didn't Joey and I didn't go, let's show them this product and this product. This will, wow. We literally just did it on the fly because that's how we are. We everything you see from us in social media, everything else is very real. So it is, with the good and the bad, we're going to show you, but it is exciting to be able to see the opportunity that exists. And if you believe that, beyond just the Amazon stuff, but more just personally for us, your own why, the opportunity for a better life, a better income, and the opportunity to really build a financial asset for yourself that you own completely yourself and that you can sell to someone else for a 7-figure payday, multiple 7 figures. We have had, again, numerous people through our coaching program that have exited for 7 figures, multiple 7 figures. And we've had a few 8 figures. 8 figures is $10 million and more. 7 figures obviously is $1 million. And then we've had some people 6 figures. I had someone sell their business for like $600,000 after 12 months. And that's a lot of money, right? I mean, a lot of people to be able to put $300,000 in their bank account is going to be life-changing, let alone $1 million and up. Now it's very real. It requires some effort and some help. So the reality is, it said, most likely you're going to need some help to get there. And here's some of the things I like to do in terms of when we look for help, or if we're looking at a mastermind or a program. One, do they themselves have significantly better average results selling on Amazon, right? I hit over $100 million in 2018 with our team here, my warehouse down the road. Joey's come and hung out there a time too. I think we've got the clips there. Joey, totally different, unrelated, never knew each other. Joey went from 0 to $1 million business with a nice exit from the brand as well too. And following exactly people we have in our program, one of our coaches, Maurice, is basically right around a 7-figure seller on the supplements. And he's an expert on the supplement side, which is great because his customers and it's all he does. He stopped working. He came through our program a few years ago, and now he's one of our coaches because he understands this stuff. Matt Atkins, another one of our coaches, really successful selling on Amazon. He's also a PPC expert. So in terms of the ranking, the advertising on Amazon. So he's jumping on Zoom calls with our people, really helping, our members individually with that as well too. So it goes on and on. We have a lot of people that we've helped, and, and not only that, we have people, I may have something on, like Dima Kubrick has flown up here to meet with me in the warehouse, and he was probably doing, I'm going to say he's probably doing about $8 million at the time he came, but he was trying to get to 20 million. He wanted to get much. So he came and we met with him and showed him the structure, the SOPs, and how the team structure was to do that. Now, Dima's a really sharp guy. He had some really cool things he could share with us that we implemented as well. But, those are the type of people we've helped, but mostly we've helped people that are like starting off that are, hey, I've got a job I'm working and I want to figure out how to get from, I'd love to be able to do this full time, or I just like some side income. That would be amazing if we could do that. And it'd be fun to finally make money for yourself versus making money for a company or for your boss. That, Joey and I both live that for our ears as well too. And then this last part is, you know, do they provide direct support with themselves personally? Because that's one thing we've always done with this program is this one-on-one access to us Monday through Friday is really unique. A lot of people say they have, but it's like, oh, you can email them or you can send something, but it's not truly. And I know this because it's taken a lot of time over the years. So, you know, Charles is a 7-figure Amazon seller. We're getting on Zoom calls. There's my original partner, Jason, but these guys over here in our offices here in Alpharetta that came in, we spend time together, and Joey and I are going to plan this. We'll get together a mastermind with you guys, come meet us up in person. But we've done this before. Chad is still on our program. He's been with us for several years. Awesome. And just basically the opportunity to collaborate, not just with us, but with other people is a game changer. He says AMZ insiders are 100% the real deal. Hopefully this week you've gotten a taste of, you know, of what we're like, what Joey and I are like. If you listen to Joey's podcast, you get a chance. I love podcasts because you can really get a sense as well too. But for you guys here, this is how we can help right here. So we've set aside some 30-minute spots to speak about your Amazon strategy. All right. So we've given some of you guys the early bird access, like you guys have joined with it. There's no obligation to buy anything. As we've said, all the days you got, whether today's your first day or the other day, you can't buy your way into the program. There was no charge for the product selection. So don't worry. There's at the end of the day, we only like to work with people where it's a good fit, people that are serious. And so the only way we can do that is to learn more about you and understand where you're at. If worst case, we'll give you some advice. We'll help give you a roadmap for the plan. And if there's a good way for us to help you out, then we'll talk about that from you as well too. So basically, we're going to help you become clear on what's holding you back, help you become clear on how to fix it. And if it makes sense, we'll look to work together and basically make sure, you know, what's stopping you from hitting the goals and showing you how to get there. So if this sounds of interest to you, then you can book a session here. And if Joe, I don't know if you can put the URL with the HTTP in there, but
Sure.
yeah. So again, and people are always like, oh, Joey, Jamie, yes, we're in there. We're actually directly work with people. We're a team. So Joey, you basically get like 5 of us supporting you directly. And depending on the question and the help, sometimes people are like, Joey or Maurice will say, hey, Jamie, can you jump in on this topic? Or, hey, Matt, this is a really good topic. Or Joey is all over it too. So Joey's phenomenal. So it's fun for us because we're a team to help you. Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
I get to talk to Debbie a couple times a day, right, Debbie?
Yeah, Debbie's on here. Several of them are probably on here right now. I've been on the week because we have a great group right here. We don't work with a lot of people. It's true because we don't have, this isn't a 100-person team where Joey and I are the face of it, but really, we hand it off to a bunch of, coaches that then manage it. No, like we're personally involved in every aspect of your success.
Yeah. And Debbie,
so
you're
this
not
is interesting.
I think it's a really good example is just to keep asking the questions one-on-one. And that's what we do. And that's what helped me with my business. It's like everybody is at different levels. So you get to really ask as many questions as you want. And our team of coaches get to jump in. So it's fun for us too.
Oh yeah. Jose's on here. Yeah. Cool. Great to meet you. And then William says, Jamie and Joey will always give you straight answers to your questions. William, I appreciate that. We didn't know who was going to be on the call here too. So it's great that we've got some of our members, and it's awesome we get to meet people in person too. So I think we need to plan like a meetup. We'll do where we pull all of our members in together because we're growing quickly, but that's why we have to keep it pretty tight. Sometimes we have to close it so you won't hear from us. And this is a special event that we're opening it. If you guys, a lot of the spots have been taken up on the calendar because we have a very small team, right? So we can't to do this is pretty time consuming, but it gets you priority access. If you book the call, amzinsiders.org/apply, you'll get the one-on-one call here with us. And like I said, we can only do so, but you can see a bunch of them. I already looked before I got in the call here. A lot of them were taken. There are some calls available. There's a couple later tonight available. There is some available tomorrow. A few available. We're actually going through the weekend. We're going to open up the weekend Saturday. And then I think the most availability right now is Sunday. That's it. So those are your only chances to take advantage of us, of the opportunity. The reality is there are a lot of bad programs out there. Unfortunately, we have a lot of people come to us, whether it's just like, they're in this area Like there is an Amazon, sometimes it's like a different model, like drop shipping, or they're kind of got pitched on something. And I feel bad for them in some ways, but the other way is like, hey, you can make the money, right? You can make more money. It's more about the time. You can't get the time back. You can always make more money. So that's why the time piece is, and we've tried to make it, we have multiple options for our programs. We have to talk to you what might be a good fit, if anything at all. We may not be able to help you at all, just to be upfront with you all. But if we can, we'll walk through that. And we try to make it very reasonably priced relative to what does require some investment, right? If you can't run, if you want to, launch a franchise or a car wash or whatever, you're going to have easily $100,000 to $500,000 or get some massive SBA loan to be able to do anything, right? These type of businesses, $10,000, right? Realistically, you can get going and build from there, right? Obviously, in terms of, you need some money for inventory, some money to invest in program and tools, then you can be off and running. So the reality is, again, you guys have an opportunity to make a real difference in your lives. I know this. There's nothing Joey and I get more excited about than our success stories, seeing people successful. You guys, we were talking about the other day with, different people that have been successful in the program. And one of our, we call it Uber driver, John Sims, right? We try to, maybe next time if we do one of these ever again, we'll pull him online here. Some of you are on here as well too, but again, did over 10,000 in sales the first 3 weeks and is, looking to grow and build. And actually, when I'm up in Delaware, I'll probably track him down here because I'll be up there in a couple of weeks again. But and actually, you can follow. There's John. That's his Instagram is JA_Sims. Obviously, we've talked about Joey a million times through here about her own success. You've heard what she's done, and we do have some special bonuses in terms of some product lists here. So we've got some cool things we'll show you. We have our black book of all of our resources and partnerships that we do ourselves that we're offering you just for book a call. And then you'll also get an opportunity to schedule a call with our partners at PrimeCore. Again, it's not our company, but completely free. It's like a $2,000 value for anyone who's booking a call today and wants help. They'll tell you exactly how to structure your company. This is not our expertise, like LLC versus S Corp versus what tax advantages can you basically write off your kids as part of a salary, pay them X amount. Like there's all these really amazing things to do. It's the coolest thing about entrepreneurship is really the taxes, is that when you just are a W-2 employee, right? So if you're just working your job and you get your W-2 and you go do your taxes, your accountant does, it's like, all right, what can I write off? It's like, oh, this is no fun. Nothing I can write off. When you have this Amazon business, you could make $20,000 in your pocket this year. But when all the expenses you write off and deductions and everything else, you can show that you lost 30,000. Like legally, you can show that because you have your laptop, you have your cell phone, you have this, right? All these things that you can do, potentially mileage on your car. But this is one of the bonuses. People love that. And we'll set that up for you again. So again, we will max out on these calls because meaning we will run out of these spots, but you guys have been great here this week. And we're gonna do Q&A we're not going anywhere. We're going to help you guys and we'll answer any questions about everything we've talked about this week on this call here, but you can take advantage of it right here. I do have one, see if I can even play it right here, possibly here, but here's some of the testimonials. We've helped so many people for years. Actually, this is right here. This is Maurice right here, back in when he went through the program here. And David Cup down here. David is the one that sold 5 businesses now for $14 million. And I've helped David out a lot over the years program. And he started, again, he was a medical sales rep. His wife, they have 3 young children. And they said they called it Operation Bring Daddy Home because he was on the road so much that when they started realizing they could build these things, it was pretty sweet. Here's David, I think.
Had a massive success with Amazon. And what's interesting about Jamie Davidson is that not only has he had this success of building this massive e-commerce empire, but along the way, he has stopped to give back.
I just want to tell anyone out there listening that you get into being in his circle, you get to learn from someone of his magnitude, at his level, you get a chance to work with this guy and it can change your life.
We're currently selling about 400K
a month right now, and we want to take it to the next level. He was able to break it down for us. I mean, if you're looking to learn Amazon, learn it from a guy who sells 100 million a year on Amazon.
So again, we have. Yep. So again, and even though I don't like to, because it's talking about me too much there, but the strength of our thing is really, it's about us as a group. Again, Joey has been awesome. And for those that are on the our current clients here on here, you guys know this, is she's a rock star. It's why we became business partners, because we're always continuing to evolve as how we help people and how we help our success stories. And that's why, I showed you earlier all the people that are coaches or people that help part of our program that come present. And these are all relationships that Joey and I personally have invested in over the last year. So, with that, I don't like necessarily go into the details, but of what's in the programs people like to ask. So like this week, we really honed in on this product selection piece. All right. We talked briefly here about the product sourcing. All right. We can go much deeper if you guys help you. And really, we can help you guys validate the products. We kind of showed you the methodology, but it's nice to get on like a Zoom call and really go deep. And, we were in person in where were we? Austin last week with Anand was on here, and we were discussing, he was showing us, pictures of his product, him and his wife, and we sat down together and talked through it. So just have that, to have that direct ability to kind of really have us do it with you. Right. So is just massively, really, really makes a big difference. That's why I've gone about it. All the launching and ranking secrets. Again, we haven't touched any of that this week here, finding great reviews. And so those are kind of some of the big mind things, but on the left-hand side too, there's things like mindset and productivity tools. So there's a lot on entrepreneurship besides just the Amazon tactics that you have to get used to, because if you don't get something done when you're running the business yourself, that it's nice because you don't have a boss yelling at you, but it's bad because you don't have someone kicking you in the rear end. So sometimes we can help you with this here. Amy says, I've known Joey for over 20 years. She's always been a total rock star. She's the reason I'm starting an Amazon biz.
Thanks, Amy. Good to see you on here.
Pretty awesome. Yeah. I mean, again, it goes back to my philosophy I have in business, which is, and I learned this from times that we've had success in business. I've had a few deals that didn't go well. We did a partnership with some group in China that was like going to try to raise $100 million, and things like it cost us a lot of money quickly. And this was separate from Amazon. And from that point forward, said, for now, we're going to do business with people we like and people we trust. Right. So I said that earlier, but that I found if you do that is really good. And that's what, with Joey, it's why I want to do business with her and partner. And also knew we complement each other well too, which is why it's important to an entrepreneurship. Ideally, if you can do it, if you can find someone to help you with the business, I believe entrepreneurship is a team sport as well too. And so if you don't have a team, like in terms of you're doing it by yourself as a solo entrepreneur, that's no problem, but you still need a team to help you with. And we like to be that team and to get out there and get, again, if for those that resonate with us, so we can't help everybody. And that's part of the reason we do these calls, is because if someone's not coachable, if someone we don't think is going to be, we put a lot of time in this, so we want to make sure that, we're aligned and that we think we can actually help you. And we really don't know that until we chat with you. But our track record, we can hopefully get a sense of the type of people that we've worked with, and that if you think you fit that bill, this is Dima right here. I mentioned him. Dima now he's probably over $20 million. He's got one of the leading softwares in the industry. This is him over up at our warehouse here when we came to help him out. And now, he continues to do big thing. Now he's the headline speaker at the biggest events in the industry out there. And it's awesome, right? We love helping people out and online. So we've done so much over the years, helping people out, so many different, time after time. If you put in the work and follow the path, then we know you'll be successful. The biggest thing is, this is why we did this, is that you need to launch your product. That's the number one thing. That's why we wanted to do this for free, help you. Hopefully you got some good value. Why we committed like pretty much our entire week, Joey and I, to doing just this for you all to help you. And I said, there's a lot of things like, hey, I don't know where to start, is not an excuse. Well, there's William right up here. So this is William from a little while back. And here's Christopher. He's over in Charlotte that we worked with. I think I saw Christopher was on here as well too. I can't say everyone is on here now, but it is, we've helped you with the first part, and we can help you further to help launch your product. And that's the biggest thing. Joey, anything you want to jump in just around getting started and to help people get over that hump to get rocking and rolling?
Yeah, I think a good thing to point out is, since the program it's a one-on-one, and there's also our video library and our live trainings, but we meet you wherever you're at with your business. So if you've sold already, if you're trying to get, to your first million, or you've broke 7 figures and you're trying to scale. So the program really meets you where you're at. Whereas like what we just did the last 3 days was exactly like focused on product selection and sourcing. And this is all in our training, and we go through weekly trainings. And the weekly trainings really helped me because it's a place you can bring your questions to the group. And then we have our private Facebook group as well. But really, the weekly trainings and the one-on-one questions, like Debbie was bringing up, where like, she's just at a point where she just needs a little bit of a lot of communication with us. So it's good she has the resource to kind of go back and forth. And it's not just with me, like it's with our team of coaches to help. So I just wanted to clarify.
Awesome. So yeah, I love it. So I don't think we actually even we definitely don't have 20 spots available still, but if you guys do that just for, taking that next step, you got to your product challenge, you're armed with it. We'd love to help validate your product with you more. We will offer a special offer depending what you want to do, but basically a fast action bonus. If you jump on the call with ourselves, we have our client director, Jason, who's phenomenal. And you guys will get there. Artem says, yeah, awesome. So again, we're gonna do some Q&A. So feel free to put any questions in here. Again, a lot of you guys already registered with us. A lot of you are clients of ours. If, especially if you're not moving forward at all with us, definitely ask your questions, because you're going to be kind of on your own after this. Because we haven't done this in like a year, a product selection challenge. So you're not going to see this again. But obviously those that apply with us, we will continue the conversation with you. But if you're not for any reason, that's no problem. Again, the response has been incredible this week. We've had a great week with you all. That I love the energy from people. We love that our existing clients that have spent the time in here, not surprising because they're always reinvesting themselves and learning, and appreciate all of the cool comments from our existing clients that, again, no coordination with anybody, but yep. So yeah, I appreciate you guys jumping in. Always something to learn. Evan says, yeah, absolutely. So it's great that so many of you guys are on here from our existing pro. And the other one is that, while it's one-on-one, it's about connecting you guys to the community, right? So connecting you to, so we do have a private Facebook group, not only just for our existing members, but all of the prior people too. And so it's really cool. If you're going to one of the in-person events, let's say you're going to go to Prosper next year, which is a huge event in March. There's a huge Amazon event in September out in Seattle. If you're going to go there, we'd love to meet you, right? We'll take you there. Joey's really shy, so she's really uncomfortable around people. But me, I'm a big extrovert, so no, I'm just kidding. It's probably
whatever. We've met a lot of you face to face. We know Sam. We were with a bunch of members last week in Austin. Ken was on here. If you're still on, Kelvin.
Yeah. So I mean, we cover. Yeah, it's awesome. We love that person, and we cover the gamut of things. Always new things. And again, our goal is, I like what Joey says, we meet you where you're at. And our goal is it's not about the training. It's not about, we have all these videos and all these weeks of training. It's about getting you the result as quickly as we can, right? That's what we want. We want you guys to get those results so we can celebrate you and then get after it. So Carol says, yes, we met in Vegas. I know these locations blend together with me. I'm like, was I in Austin? Was I in Vegas? Was I in California? And the beauty said, I don't have technical skills is not an excuse. All right. Again, David, who's now he sold his first business for 4.1 million. Now has sold five businesses for 14 million. No tech. He was running his entire business just using a spreadsheet, Excel. And now the tools are so great. That Helium 10 tool, again, not our tool, but that in itself makes it so much easier. And there's several other tools and resources and really good people to help to point you to if there's certain things, like if you're looking for, amazing images for your listing or a great video, right? Like we don't just know people. We have like really good relationships with these people. We've invested our time, our money traveling out to these places and getting to know people and seeing who we trust and who we like. And sometimes we've sent business somewhere and we're like, yeah, they were okay. Let's send them next time. We're going to send it to this person because we know like multiple people pretty much in every aspect of the business to help you with. And sometimes it's a matter of, who we think's a better fit for you all. I may say I'm new to Amazon. So yeah, Joey says 5K to 20. Yeah, that's a great answer there.
Yeah,
So-
sorry. There's a lot of messages that are just coming into Jamie and I, so I shoot those back, but that's a good one. Someone's asking like, how much do I need to start? I like to say anywhere from 5K to 20,000 is great to start. Now for inventory, like for people who are just testing the waters, you can even launch a product for around $1,500 or maybe a little less than that. But I always say 5K to 20K is really what you need to be serious about starting your Amazon business and growing from there. And of course, the more money, the better, because you want money for marketing.
Yep. And the reality is, so you can always, right, you can find the money if it's passionate about. If someone came up to you and said they were going to sell you a $200,000 Lamborghini and they're going to sell it to you for $10,000, and it was on the up and up, it was legit opportunity, you're going to find the $10,000, right? Because you know the value of what that can be. So same thing with your business here. As I said, you can always, the reason I have a lot of confidence, I've had a lot of confidence in myself and those that I work with, is I know I can always go make more money, right? But the time, we all get the 24 hours in a day and we lose that. And so if I'm spending too much time trying to figure this out, or if I'm going to make a bunch of mistakes, before I'm successful, that's why Joey and I are in masterminds with other people in the industry. And it's not just Amazon. We spend time because we want to understand what we can apply to the business. We want to understand, we don't want to waste time. So we're just trying to understand what other people have done. And then we want to connect and you got to be in the right room, right? It's a big part of entrepreneurship and success is you got to get in the room. And that's what, we bring together, not only ourselves, but again, this network of people. And if you come to the events, we'll introduce you to our entire network, right? So I talk about, 3 years ago, the number of people the relationship Joey has in the industry versus what she had 3 years ago is dramatically different, right? Because Joey now has, like I may have introduced her to people, but then it's like Joey on her own, or any of our people, you own that relationship once you have an opportunity to have that dynamic. And so it takes on a life of its own. And so then, you have an understanding of the industry and the relationships. And it's cool because there's so many good people in the industry, people willing to help. And that's why, we're kind of uniquely positioned because, coaching and helping people is not easy. It's a lot of time and investment to really help people. Like a lot of our friends and partners in the industry are like, wow, how do you guys do that? Because there's just, like I said, a lot of crappy programs out there. So I think, we have a lot of respect from our peers, but then more importantly to us is about the actual clients that we work with and the results. Most importantly is the results that we're working to help get you. Isabella was on Joey's podcast. You guys are a dynamic duo. That will be coming out in a few weeks, I suppose.
Yes. And just to touch on what you were talking about, Jamie, and we are getting questions about events, but I will say with partnering with people in Amazon, we with AMZ Insiders and just me as a seller and Jamie as a seller, we like to partner with trusted resources. So for us, that's ideally people who are already partnered with Amazon, like a preferred Amazon partner. And you'll notice that a lot with people who we allow into our training and that we'll recommend. And also that they're at the events, they're speaking on the same stages that we get to speak on, and they're part of the Amazon community and they're giving back and contributing. So when you ask us like, hey, do you know this person or this person? Well, if they're not at the events or in the circles that we're in, and we do everything to do with Amazon. I mean, I take time away from my family to go to all of these events so that I know who is trusted and who is doing what, so that we can bring the very best to you. And also for my business, right? For me selling. So yeah, you're always welcome to, even if, you don't join our program for whatever, shoot me a message on Instagram and even just check and ask like, hey, do you know this person, or is this person connected with Amazon? But one way you'll know is when you go to their website, if they're an Amazon partner, and also like on our website, how we have pictures of us on the stages and we're out in front of the Amazon industry.
Love it. Love it. So cool. And again, happy to answer questions for y'all. Like I said, as much as we're sharing this opportunity for you, I can tell you it's not for everybody. We do not accept everybody. And just because we don't know if we can help you or not, we need to understand more about you, your goals. And, if we can help you, we'll talk about it. Like I said, there's absolutely no obligation. We don't charge a penny to book the call. And then we open these up periodically. Like I said, it's not typical on the weekend. We're opening these spots. But again, regardless, hopefully you guys felt you got some good value out of the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I saw Lori, I guess, message us in the Q&A button earlier there about, I said, don't even know how I got the link to the Zoom, but I'm thrilled, hoping you'll have an answer for me. I need to listen to day 1 and 2. Yeah. So if Lori's still here or not, you guys would do all have access to these 3 days here. Anyone who books a call too, again, we'll give you guys we have the bonuses for you. We'll get you copies of the slides as well too. It's helpful. And there's a lot more to do, like the AI stuff we're doing. Like I went through it. I showed it to you guys yesterday, but in the interest of time, we couldn't like really go deep. I couldn't really go into Midjourney and show how we're doing it. We do have a separate mastermind that we do for AI that we ran. We brought in a bunch of people, and we're going to be doing more of that. And I'm speaking at some more events on AI. So you're going to get that. The cool thing with Joey and I, we kind of divide and conquer some different things, because, it's why I love having her as a business partner is, she has some really strong strengths, and we both can focus on different things that are good. So, some of the AI stuff, we both come back, we both experiment with it, but I may, dig in with some other people in the industry, because everyone's learning in the space. It's not about, there's no gurus in the AI space. It's about understanding it and who's invested time towards it. And so you get all that with us, because, I swear, at least once a month, Joey's like, hey, you're going to talk AI. You're going to do AI on this training here, or on her podcast. We've done a few episodes on the AI topic, because it's constantly changing and updating. So point is, we bring all of that to us, and we will continue on. You get, you're part of the AMZ Insiders family. And like I said, for us, we don't need a ton of people in here. We like to, but we're excited about those that are motivated. And we know if you can get this product piece right, everything else is so much easier. So that was kind of the motivation for us to help you, again, whether you work with us or not. And also we want to expose you about some of the AI tools and some of the ways you can do things, because you don't know what you don't know. And as big as ChatGPT and AI is, the reality is 95% of people are not using it still. So you all have a major opportunity and major advantage to jump in right now here in 2023. It's why I've said from the beginning of this year, it's the most exciting year, I think, for entrepreneurship, because there's this window probably for the next 2 years, maybe it's longer, where there's going to be this huge opportunity to use some of these tools to do things faster and cheaper, specifically to build your Amazon brand. And hopefully you got a taste of that, or you got some good takeaways over the last few days. And things I know, like Joey, like the Pinterest and the, some of the things we didn't do traffic like you do, Google Ads training. Like there's some really cool things that, that you can go a lot deeper with when those that we're end up working with, right?
Yes. And to me, that's the fun part, is once your product is in your launch phase, you want to take advantage of that. And it's not just your PPC on Amazon. That's important. Running your PPC and your keywords on Amazon is important, but there's just so much more that you do with outside traffic. So I think it's like in July at Ecom Summit, I get to teach a Google Ads workshop. So if you want to come and geek out on Google Ads with me. Yeah, we're going to Chicago. Yeah, you're teaching something. I forget what you're teaching.
Yeah, Joey doesn't care. She's like, yeah, you're teaching something. I don't know.
About myself.
Come watch his stuff too. Just go to Joey. I'm going to be talking some AI stuff, of course.
Oh, of course. Oh, Lori is still here. There you are. Yes, Lori.
Hey,
Thank you.
Lori. Oh, cool. Yeah, I loved your message earlier. That was up in the Q&A. Sometimes I forget to look in the Q&A because we have so much going on in the chat. So that was well, we're glad you did find us. And like I said, hopefully the point of this is not about whether we work with you or not. You come to Ames Insiders. We want the value from the yesterday's sessions today. And then today we did a little more on the sourcing topic, but that in itself is a lot of value. For some people, hey, you want to do it completely on your own, have at it. And, for us, our own experience is that it's so much fun to do it with other people, and it's so much more productive and really saves a lot of time to do it faster, do it quick. I mean, Joey was a great example herself. Again, I didn't know who Joey was. It was like I saw this name Joey on our weekly trainings. I knew she signed up, of course, to the program, and we were back and forth in the coaching, but it was like she was just showing up. And then a few months in, I realized, through one of our conversations when she was like, yeah, I'm doing like, and she said it like this too. You can kind of picture Joey like, yeah, I've done like 200,000 so far this month. I'm like, what? You did $200,000? Yeah. I'm like, oh, well, let's talk some more. So Joey's not, she doesn't hype herself in any way, but the results were real. And on this thing says, because fear is good. I do think the tactics are important, but for a lot of people, I've seen it's the mindset is tough, because a lot of people have tried things and failed, which is normal. And so that you build in this mindset, this fear that this worked for Joey and Jamie, and it worked for Uber driver John, and it worked for this person who sold for this amount, and the people we showed over and over, but like, hey, it won't work for me, right? Because what happens is you have these limiting mindsets. And what I found is you got to get yourself around enough people that just kind of like push you off the diving board into the, off the high jump into the pool, so that you can't let yourself get in the way mentally.
Yeah. And the reason when I was having the conversation, I was like, yeah, I think I was like around $200,000 that month when I was like, just telling you an issue I was having. And then you asked me what my sales were, and I told you, but I said it like that because y'all, I really thought that everybody selling on Amazon was making that much money. Like that's honestly, that is what I thought, because I knew that there was such huge opportunity to sell on Amazon. And when I was looking for mentors in how to sell, that's what I came across. I came across you, Jamie, who has sold over $100 million on Amazon. So me saying, oh, I just hit $200,000, but here's my problems, didn't seem big. But now I look back and I'm like, yeah, I should have totally celebrated it, but I was so head down in my business and I was having so many problems, right? You guys heard yesterday my inventory problems. So it is important to celebrate your wins. I didn't do that very much along the way, but I love celebrating everybody in our program. And when people are like, oh, I just broke 6 figures, but now I want to get to 7 figures. I'm like, hold on, can we be excited that, you like Uber driver John? I was like, it's been 3 weeks and you just sold like $10,000. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. And for me, the most exciting part is people hear like the big number, the 100 million. I think of that as, at that point we built a big team, we have hundreds of employees, but really the excitement was from like 0 to, a couple million. For me, it was all of a sudden the light bulb went on, because, I'd worked in corporate jobs. So it wasn't like I was new to business, but I was like, had never seen an opportunity like this, because, I'd walk around the warehouse and go, wow, there's no way, we have this business and you don't need a warehouse, but like, there's no way we could build this business in 7 years, any other business, because there's nothing that's more scalable than the Amazon business. But when I went to, once you get to a couple $1 million in sales, I remember starting to think about things that I could buy in terms of my product. Like, oh, I want to buy that house. I just need to sell like this many more cell phone cases this month. And we will, because the profit margin was really high. Like, oh, if I want to buy this car, that's X number of cell phone cases. I can buy that car. Right. So instead of dollars, I just started thinking in terms of my product, which is kind of wild and fun after all the years of getting a salary. And you're like, oh, I earn, and I earned pretty good salary. And, Joey and I have both done the corporate route. And a lot of people we've helped, have corporate jobs and have been that path. Right. So none of us we weren't, entrepreneurs coming out of high school as e-commerce, No, we were like kind of a traditional path. And that's why a lot of my neighbors are like, they're traditionally successful in other areas, but this is a totally new way that you can kind of leapfrog again, go kind of last the first with this program, with the tools, with the stuff we shared with you. So yeah, and some people ask, of course, you guys get all the replays here just for today. The people that are looking, any Q&A, like I said, especially those that aren't moving on. If you have any more questions for us, this will be your chance with Joey and I. Otherwise, our hourly rate, sometimes we charge as much as $1,000 an hour for consultations. And even those, sometimes we like, hey, we won't even open those up just because we're so busy. It's like, it's hard for us to set across time around here. Mercedes around turnaround time. I'm not sure, Joey, if you were communicating around that, but if you guys book a call, again, you'll see the time. We only have spots available for the next few days. You get the bonuses, the product bonuses, you get the fast action bonus if you decide you want our help. And then you get access to everything in our community, our team, the one-on-one access will help validate your product with you. That hopefully the things we've helped you the last few days have set you up there around there.
Yeah, Mercedes, that's a good question. The turnaround time on first sale, like a year, first sale. So for Uber driver John, it was funny. I think we set a goal of, hey, wouldn't it be great if you sold 12 units your first week? I think he sold 12 units his first day. Maybe it was like first 48 hours because it takes a little while to ramp up. And then from there, he took off. My first sale was probably like 5 or 6 days in. And then I grew my first actual month of selling, like full month from my first sale, I'll say, I think it was like 50,000 in sales. And then, yeah, and then I hit 1.2 million in sales, probably around like 10, 11 months. And most of it was on Amazon. That's why I say 0 to 1 million. And then I did have a website as well. So for those of you who've asked about websites, I did sell just a little bit, not much, but a little bit on a website.
Yeah. And initially, you're sourcing, we talked about sourcing today. So that can be your lead time. One, how quickly do you identify your product? How quickly do you get a sample in your hand? So you physically can say like, ooh, I'm excited about this product. And then you're going to place your order, right? And so your order, it may take them, 3 weeks to have your order ready. And then you need shipping time. So you can decide whether you want that to go on the boat, right? So on a ship, and it goes in a container, it could take 3 weeks to get here. Or you could say, hey, yeah, let's ship like 25% of the order. Let's airship that over to me, get it to me in a few days. That's going to be more expensive. Initially, I'd probably, for most people, I actually just say, don't airship it initially. Just get it the regular way and launch your product there. But if you want to go a little faster, you can airship. From there, we airship if we're running out of stock and we need part of the order faster, just so we can stay in stock, as we talked about a lot on day one. And Joey shared as well too about, the importance of staying in stock so you can really make this business profitable for you. But yeah, so those are some of the periods. But to Joey's point, once you launch, you can start selling day one. That's the whole thing. Is if people say it takes them a long time to get their first sale, I guarantee they're not implementing the strategies that we talk about to optimize your listing, to really get the algorithm moving in the first like 3 weeks of your listing. It's called the A9 algorithm. And we call that spiking the algorithm because, if you were on the other day, Amazon, you could have like no reviews and Amazon will show you to page 1, right? To help people, to give you a chance, to give your product a chance. And as long as you've got it, positioned well, you can really start generating sales quickly. And of course you want to get a few reviews as quickly as possible as well too. So
yeah, that's a good point. Amazon wants you to succeed. So they're going to give you a bump because they want new sellers. They want to make money off of you. They want their fees. They want you to grow big. So they're going to give you a bump in the first, I don't know, nobody knows the exact time, but it's like 30 to 60 days that we call the honeymoon period. And so that's why we focus a lot on what to do in that honeymoon period and how to optimize your listing, because it's an exciting time, because that's when your sales come in and Amazon has already decided they like you. And now you got to say, hey, we're going to keep this relationship going.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Well, awesome. Feel free again to ask us any questions. We're going to go, you guys will have, you guys will have access to the replays of this content. We'd love to continue working on with, or at least talking with you guys. So there is no obligation to have us have a chance to learn more about you and have a discussion. But regardless, we hope you enjoyed this product challenge. We had, I know, a lot of fun doing it, Joey. I think we're so busy in the week. Obviously, we have a lot of clients that we work with and just the business ourselves that it's kind of hard for us to be able to take time to do this, but the feedback's been great. You guys, the questions have been phenomenal during the week. It was interesting too. They ran the gamut. Like on Monday, there was not Monday, Tuesday was the first day of the challenge. There was a lot of questions around things like trademarks and questions about how to set up the company, right? It's one of your bonuses. You get a free consultation for anyone who books a call. You'll get a free consultation with the experts there, and people rave about them. So it's just interesting to hear the questions, which, is a lot of it because and again, you get to take advantage, like investing in a coaching program or mastermind, is a total write-off. You get to write that off against your business because you're investing into your, the productivity of your business. So it's a business expense. So really, really cool thing. But all these things you learn, like there's little loopholes and things you can do. It's why you need to collaborate. And I'd say the biggest thing to me is you got to get in the room, right? You've got to get in the room with the right entrepreneurs. And here I'm talking figuratively, but get in the room with people that are where you want to be and where you want to get to. And if you do that, you'll have success, and it's a lot of fun, right? Like the event last week, the SellerCon, seeing some of our AMZ Insiders members there was really cool. And it's also exciting to be able to, talk about your business, both when you need help, but also occasionally in person as well too. Awesome. Well, if there's any final questions, feel free to have it. Yep. Debbie's, yeah. Cheerio. Yes. Very, you're over, she's in the UK, right? Debbie,
Canada.
yeah, so
She's in
in
Canada.
Canada. Sorry. I don't know why I wanted to say that's right. We had that. So yesterday, the Cheerio comment.
Yeah, but we do have students all across the world globally. So it really doesn't matter where you are. We can help you sell. As long as it's a place that Amazon allows you to sell, then we can help you out.
Love it. Love it. Well, like I said, do this for yourself. Again, a lot of it is fear that we hold ourselves back. A lot of this is mindset. I've learned this a lot in entrepreneurship. Don't allow yourself from starting. People say, when was a good time to get started? I should have started 3 years ago or last year or 5 years ago. And the reality is you didn't. So let's get going. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about decisions in the past or where you're at. I'm not a big believer in regrets or things that I'd like to look, take control like you control, which is today, and then move forward together, and let us help you, and let's get after it together and help you win. But we know it can make a big impact on your life. And I've seen the impact it's made on so many people's other lives, on my own life. And it is a truly remarkable, good group of people to be around to help you get inspired, to help keeping you going and to get motivated. So excited to chat with so many of you guys over the next few days. I see the calendar is basically just almost about maxed out anyways here. And then we will close it down, access to it. But, those that did get in here will get access to the bonuses that we offered, the fast action bonuses, the product bonuses, our black book of all of our partners, the people that we use ourselves. As Joey said, we vet people really closely and go. So yeah, Evan says, is it possible to resurrect an old ASIN from previous? The answer is yes. So there is a way to do something called reset the honeymoon period. So Joey just mentioned the honeymoon period. There are some tactics to do that. Something we can kind of point you in the right direction around how to go about doing that. So, but the answer is yes, can do it. We get this question. Joey and I were speaking at a Helium 10 event, I don't know, a few weeks back, and someone asked this, and they asked how you think about this. And my own answer is you can spend some time like resurrecting things, but typically what I find is I'm better off applying strategies to new things because I can just get results so much faster and just kind of cut your losses and things that are not working and focus on things that do. But you absolutely can resurrect listings that were in the past that maybe not are working, but just don't stay with it forever. Like implement the strategies, and if it works, great. And then you can be off and running. If not, like I said, move on to new opportunities. That's my approach. And someone asked me that question who had like several $1 million of they're a multi 7-figure seller, but they're trying to figure that out as well too. Yeah, Evan said I still have inventory, not sure what to do with it. Yeah, there's also some other options too. You can sell off some inventory that's not moving. So you can sell it off at a discount to people that will buy it in mass for you. And that's a good approach as well. So good question, Evan. Awesome. Well, Joey, I don't see any other questions. Joey, you see anything else that we missed there?
Let me just, I've been trying to keep up with like all the different places questions are. Give me 1 second to just refresh on the Facebook page to make sure that we're good. Yeah, no, it looks like we are all good.
Awesome. All right. Well, we are going to wrap it up here. And again, excited to be chatting with a lot of you here in the next few days, myself, Joey, our team, to see if you're a good fit. And hopefully we know some of you guys will be our next success story. And there's nothing that we love more than seeing you succeed. And again, I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this the last 3 days. Again, you have access to the Facebook group and access to the content for these 3 days. We didn't do an upsell. We didn't say, oh, there's a VIP, $99 charge to get you in there. So we just kept it straightforward, simple, give you access to everything. And then for those that are serious, that those want the next step, again, there's no risk at all to, we make it completely risk-free to jump on a call, and you can ask us some more questions on the call, see where we're at with things. And just, again, more importantly, we want to learn about where you're at and see if we're a good fit to get there. And this is a great time to come aboard because we're right now in June, and we're a few months away to start preparing for Q4, which is the biggest sales of the year. So, you don't want to miss that, whether you're a current seller and we can help you really dial it in for that period, or if you're just getting started, we can help you get ready in time so you can take advantage of Q4 holiday sales, which is a lot of fun because that's when the sales really, really start rolling in. So awesome. I think we'll leave it at that. I'll keep this up here just for a moment longer, then we're going to close this out. Again, the bonuses today are only for people that are on here, that book the call here while we were doing here. So don't reach out like a week from now and say, hey, I'm looking at it back. Just, this is the window. We're serious about our windows. And then we close things down. We will work with our new cohort of people that we have a great group of people that we're working with and excited for it. So that is great. Yeah, it's some questions on the Helium 10 there. Yeah, we gave you guys a link for that for your discount there. That was the amzproductspire.com. But
I'll put the link in there for Helium 10. But questions are usually around like what to start with on Helium 10. I always say that you can start with a starter, and then if you feel like you need to unlock the next features, then you can go up to the features. Probably though, when you're building your listing, you're going to want to upgrade. But for product research and for the extension, the starter should be okay for you.
yeah, and to me, you said sometimes you get a tool, you may use it for a month and cancel it if you're not using it. Obviously, Helium 10 is one you can really run your whole business with. So, if you're committed to it, it's probably not going to happen. But yeah, like I said, tools, we're not married to tools. We just share what we like and what we found effective. And again, Helium 10 will get the job done. But again, obviously there's other tools out there as well. So, and again, we love methods that, that's why we love combining things like Helium 10 and AI. We love using things like Pinterest, right? So like off the beaten path, or looking at Alibaba, like we talked about today, not just for sourcing a product, but for getting ideas. So we like to, think a little bit differently than just the traditional person who's just going to a tool and only using to a tool, right? We want to, back to what we talked about the other day, we want to use ideas, maybe you have kids in your neighborhood and see what the latest trends are. If you're a mom and you see things, right? You have we all have unique advantages. So we want you to take advantage of your unique perspective, your unique experience. Most people we work with too, they're not like, although we have worked with some that are like 19 or 20, most of you, have real life experience in your, maybe not with Amazon, but you have experience in a corporate job or some kind of career and focus. And so you have some perspective with whatever product you're doing there, or even how you operate your business as an entrepreneur, or your routine and for meetings, like all that stuff you can apply for yourself and take advantage of it so that you're, building this business for yourself, your family, versus, just doing it for, a corporation, or doing it just trading your time for money, that's the challenge with jobs. You're trading time for, whether it's a little money or a lot of money, you're still just trading your time for money, versus the ability to build an asset, right, that you own that can generate cash flow while you're sleeping, and then also have an asset that you can sell down the road. So if you run the business right, get the right help, you get in the room with the right people. So that's your thoughts there. So good stuff. And let me just see if I can, there we go. I think we have it. I don't see more questions. Let us know, if you guys go beyond this, well, we won't be available like this setting one-on-one, or if you don't, those that aren't on a call, then just know that you do still have the ability to be in the Facebook group and connect with other people that were here in the challenge. So we had, again, close to 1,000 people sign up. Pretty awesome, pretty inspiring week. This was our biggest event we've ever done. So the response was crazy good. And the response after each of the first 2 days was phenomenal as well too. So we will leave it at that. Again, hopefully this was helpful, and let us know in the comment, any thoughts you have. Amy says, thank you, Jamie and Joey. Great info. Yeah, we always appreciate you guys' comments, because we do take a picture of it and we share it with the rest of the team, because there is, this does take a group effort to run these events and coordinate them, and the follow-up and the emails, and get you guys your content. But more important than anything else, we want you to help get a result and help you guys take that next step. So let us know if we can help, and we'll leave it at that. Joey, final thoughts before we close it down here?
Thank you all for joining. It's been a really, really fun 3 days. I hope that we'll be able to work with many of you. And again, you can always hit me up on Instagram, joeyroberts.official. And I do check all the messages on there. Anywhere else, it's a little like maybe, but Instagram, I'm always on there. So thanks again for joining. And whether or not you do join our program, I would love to learn and see what you're selling on Amazon. And if you tag me on your stuff in Instagram, I will repost it. So there's some like free micro influencer marketing that I'll do for your product. So thank you all.
Awesome. All right, we'll leave it at that. Look forward to talking to so many of you. And I'll leave this up here just for a moment here before we shut it down. And just if nothing else, whether we work with you or don't, just continue to take action, push forward. It's an amazing time to be an entrepreneur here in 2023 and into 2024. It's amazing. So just encourage you guys to stay at it, and just keep applying whatever you learn. Learning is one thing, but there's a phrase you have to learn, and then before you can drop the L and then start to earn. So, the way you do that, the way you earn, is that you have to implement, and don't just take notes and go to the next webinar, right? Figure out how you're going to take action and start implementing and launching the product and getting to that next step, start building your business. All right. Thanks everyone. And this was a lot of fun. And till next time, again, look forward to talking to a bunch of you. I see there's only a couple slots left. So awesome. And we'll get you guys your full replays of all 3 days, and best of luck, everyone. Thanks everyone. And Joey, thanks for all the contributions and the teamwork here with everyone and all of our existing members that joined us as well.
Yes. Good point. Thank you for everybody's effort. And thank you, Jamie.
All right. With that, we will call it a day. All right. Have a good one, everyone.